You loved An American Tail. You saw An American Tail 2. Your mom accidentally bought you An American Tail 3, and you died a little when you found out there was An American Tail 4. Well, now get ready for the greatest crossover to ever win a studio some loose change. It's An American Tail 5 meets The Land Before Time 15. Yeah, we don't care. We know you cried at the original films, but we don't care. Money. In a series so embarrassed by itself, it actually retcons other sequels.
I dreamed we moved out west and I became a famous gunslinger. Huh, like that could happen.
We bring you the story of something yada yada dinosaurs and mice.
Wow! A time machine that'll take us back millions of years? We're really gonna blah blah, doesn't matter, this is for babies.
Behold animators who thought their talents could save 2D animation, doing projects for children glancing up from their tablets.
Let's analyze the complicated history of immigration into America.
Or we could just say don't judge a book by its cover.
Or we could...
No, we're doing that.
And witness voice actors giving up because they know they're not gonna put this on their resume.
Oh no, the Daisy Duck one is in trouble. We gotta save her after another scotch.
Not matching the lip movements.
I don't care that it doesn't match the lip movements. The kids watching this don't even know what words are.
Maybe you should lay off the drinks for a bit.
I act better with my Jack and Jack. What do you even care? You're not doing a take two. All of this is going in, isn't it?
Yeah.
An American Tail 5 meets The Land Before Time 15. Coming soon to a theater near you. Just kidding. We'll see you in the coaster section.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy, remember it, so you don't have to. It's no question that Disney has been and still is the king of American animation, but that didn't come without a lot of ups and downs. One of the toughest times for Disney was through the 80s, when things got so bad their high-budget film Black Cauldron lost out to the Care Bears movie.
The fuck? What now?
A lot of films from other animated studios popped up, taking advantage of a market that Disney didn't seem to be satisfying. Some did well, some floundered, but the one that hands down gave Disney its biggest scare was, funny enough, from a former Disney animator, Don Bluth. Produced by Steven Spielberg in 1986 with a budget of $9 million, $3 million smaller than most Disney films at the time, An American Tail grossed over $100 million, enough to make Universal say, "Hey kids, we got a cute mascot too!" Many argue this was the film that scared Disney so much it forced them to up their game and begin their animated renaissance. I don't think it's a coincidence that a Mouse movie was made during and shortly after this. Emotional pop songs with big singers now had to be in every animated movie, as well as work their way into the story. And, well, Disney had to look cleaner and more polished because other productions were capturing the Disney feel more than Disney was, and with less money. While many do love this film, it's often seen as a simple kid story about a child finding his family. And while yes, that is the plot, there's a lot more commentary going on about American immigration in the late 19th century that kids would never pick up on. Hell, even some adults miss it. So I want to take a look at what makes this a visual, emotional, and technical wonder almost 35 years later. So get ready for some scary imagery and tough love because 80s movies, this is American Tail. We open in Russia in 1885, as per animated film logic. All animals living with humans must live as puns of those humans.
Enough already, they'll never get to sleep.
These are the Mouskowitzes. A family so poor, literally a rag and a hand-me-down hat are presents.
It's too big.
You'll grow.
We're introduced to little Fievel, who I will admit I was shocked all these years later is not annoying. I know it sounds odd, like obviously we're not supposed to find the lead annoying, but really think about kids in kids' films. They're either too self-reliant to the point where they feel phony and unrealistic, or they're so whiny and helpless they become phenomenally obnoxious. Fievel, for a cartoon mouse, feels like a real little kid.
Angel, are you all right?
Yes, Mama.
Then never do that again.
Stick with me, okay? Hey! What, we engaged or something?
This is my home now.
He's extremely vulnerable, but he doesn't complain. He's not super bright, but he is super imaginative. And everything he gets emotional about, you would get emotional about too. Especially at this age in these situations. He doesn't just quote catchphrases because he's not portrayed as a cool kid, he's portrayed as a real kid. And that's surprisingly rarer in children's films than you would think. So what if he's not the best singer? He's got
The
heart. While talking about their dreams of America.
There are mouse holes in every wall. In America, there are breadcrumbs on every floor.
If I were a rich mouse, yabba squeaka squeaka squeaka, yabba squeaka squeaka dum.
Their village is attacked by Don Bluth's ever bizarre fear of felines. No, seriously, there are guard cats in this world. I guess even the Jewish mice had to be purged from these villages. For whatever reason, they look and sound like trained canines. Have you ever trained a cat to hunt something they didn't want to hunt? Hey Chaplin, remember the sock of that person I had you get the scent of? Go find him! They escape, but their home is destroyed, forcing them to leave for the land of opportunity, America.
Are we there yet?
Not yet.
Maybe we should have stayed in Russia.
Yes, I hear that's becoming more like a Disney film every day too. Everyone on the boat sings a very catchy song about how there's no cats in America and the streets are paved with cheese. Obviously a satire of the streets are paved with gold, which was a common phrase about America back then.
And the streets are paved with cheese.
And yes, it is ironic a song about immigrants escaping oppression are represented mostly in stereotypes.
Poor mamma mia.
But they're by no means malicious, and hey, we don't know how ethnicities look and sound in the mouse world. Maybe this mouse is Italian.
The Don he was a tabby with a taste for my brother Tony.
They all dream of a land with no cats, no oppressors, and no interns who would overlay animation cells wrong.
Fish!
Fievel gets excited about seeing fish during a storm and gets toppled by Aquaman's drunken bitterness. The funny thing is Spielberg apparently told Bluth to tone down how scary the monster was in this scene. So anyone that complains that this movie's too mean, remember, this is the nicer version! Fievel is lost at sea as his family reaches America one member short.
How many?
5. Oh, I mean 4.
Okay, next.
While that line is probably the most heartbreaking in the film, I have to admit, I'm distracted by the mice in the background. As if they're like, we rode that Titanic for days and there wasn't one rapping dog! Fievel makes his way into a bottle floating towards New York, and I should say a good chunk of why this film feels so epic is James Horner's amazing soundtrack. When Fievel sees Lady Liberty, the choir actually sings the poem inscribed on her. It's still a chilling moment, even as an adult. Unless you have COVID, in which case fuck off!
All of that is also America.
He comes across Pigeon Lumiere, played by Christopher Plummer, who cleans him up and gives him the inspiration not to give up hope. Again, this is a pretty damn catchy song.
Never say never again.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I am a pigeon, this is a statue, I have a lot of shitting to do. Fievel is dropped off at a place that can help, but he's intercepted by an opportunist named Warren T. Rat, which honestly sounds like an insurance mascot.
I'm looking for my family.
I know exactly where they are.
I also know how to save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Warren is actually a very small cat pretending to be a rat, acting like he's on the side of the hard-working mouse when in reality he either eats them, offers protection from the cats, or makes money off of them through their labor. You could easily connect this to how two-faced some people in power were pretending to help immigrants when they really were exploiting them for their own gain. But he does blow symbolic smoke rings. To his credit, that must take talent.
I keep having this feeling. The Fievel's alive.
After a while, it will go away.
90% of Don Bluth films can be summed up as,
When you wish upon...
and thus we begin the countdown of God damn it, just look that way! There are so many times the family and Fievel just miss each other, it could be a saw torture. Just watch these on a loop and you'll cut your damn foot off.
Hey, don't break a gut there.
This leads to kind of a first in a movie for me. It's when Warren T drops off Fievel to who he says is his family.
Papa!
This is the first time I ever screamed and laughed at a film. Little 5-year-old me was terrified at this scene, but at the same time, it was really, really funny. Thinking you're gonna see your family only to be given this monster. A monster who greets you by shoving his face into yours laughing. Who does that? It's so insane!
You're mine! Now get to work!
It turns out this is a workshop, both for mice and people, that Fievel is forced to work at, demonstrating that the American dream isn't exactly the utopia that was promised. In fact, Americana imagery is sprinkled all throughout the harsher scenes of the movie. Like saying the Pledge of Allegiance where Fievel can't enter, Stars and Stripes Forever almost used as a weapon against him, and even at the workhouse the American flag hangs proudly, almost like it's showing there are still flaws in America and plenty of people who will take advantage of those flaws. But there is a fair amount of good as well, with a young mouse named Tony who helps him escape.
Fievel? Ooh, that name's gotta go. Philly!
Billy?
Yeah! Fits you perfect.
This is kind of fitting because Don Bluth was concerned that not enough kids would be familiar with the name Fievel, but Spielberg wanted to keep it. Since a lot of names of immigrants were changed when they came to America back then, he'd be nicknamed Philly and the public would decide. Kids seem to remember Fievel more, even if 9 out of 10 times they had no idea how to spell it. Falafel? Come on, Jimmy, you're 2!
Philly! Philly Masquerade!
He leaves Tony to find his family himself. Like I said, not the brightest crayon in the box. But fear not, he's appropriately punished for it. Yeah, in keeping with this movie's sickness, pretty much every horrible thing you can imagine is thrown at this Margaret Keane rodent. Aw, you're alone? Here's a train to keep you company. Look, your family's calling you. No, it's just another kid named Fievel. Common name, it turns out. Well, at least there's some food for your hungry little tummy. Fuck you little shit! Here's a horse trying to squash you!
Papa.
Oh, look, your father's violin is playing. Oh, it's just a record player. This'll teach you to hope. Yeah, how'd that song go again?
Never say never, whatever you do. Never say never.
What we're trying to tell you, kids, is everything is out to get you and your dreams are bullshit. Just survive. Surviving is hard enough. Don't hide under that pillow. You can suffocate from that. Everything can kill you. Rated 80s G. After Fievel falls from rich living to poor living, literally sinking to that level, he once again comes across Tony and realizes his streetwise ways might be a better alternative to going at it alone.
Listen, you go running off like that and you're gonna get yourself seriously lost.
Where'd that cheese go, by the way? That thing vanished faster than the baby after minute 32. Yeah, you ever notice that the baby completely disappears from the movie after this moment? I don't know, maybe they dreamt her. I still can't believe they did that in one of these sequels. Look up, goddammit!
We have free speech. You can say cat here. Cat, and double cat.
On his way to finding help, he comes across an activist named Bridget, who's trying to fight against the evil cats.
Cat.
Cat.
Well, that's it. Princess Daphne fucked a mouse at some point.
Cat.
Jesus, they make her pupils so big her eyeshadow literally casts an eyeshadow!
But there are no cats in America.
Fievel tells everyone there's no cats in America when arguably the most patient feline in the film attacks. Yeah, so this was the scariest scene in the movie for me. As far as I was concerned, when you were eaten, you're dead. This was officially a snuff film. The rest was just gonna be him being digested. Thanks, Mom and Dad, for taking me to this. But I guess he saw this cartoon and made his way out, discovering that there are, in fact, quite a few kitties in the USA. Just look to your right, you don't have blinders!
It's my 3rd week today, and I'm not finished.
Bridget takes him to a politician named Honest John, who is loosely based on a real person, but again, not the most sensitive portrayal. His alcohol is so strong, it literally burns holes in the ground. Nevertheless, he's taken to him to see if he knows his family. Though sadly he doesn't, a German stereotype steps in named Miss Mausheimer, played by Madeline Kahn.
We must have a wowie.
What's a wowie?
A wowie.
Well, I'm sure this bit where they can't understand their over-the-top accents wouldn't fly today. I have a very strict anything Madeline Kahn does is hilarious clause that, I'm sorry, I'm never backing out of.
O'Reilly.
That's what I said. A wowie.
Rated 80s cheeky. Though a lot of the mice see her as too rich, snobby, and full of herself, which is not unfounded.
I have dedicated my wife to helping those less fortunate than myself. That's everyone.
I do like that she's an immigrant trying to help other immigrants. I think the idea is showing different classes and races coming together to defeat a common foe as opposed to fight among each other. Again, it's done with silly voices and characters, but it's an idea that most likely will always have relevance.
I have an idea.
Yes?
Fievel tells them an idea he has based on a story his father told him about a giant mouse, and everyone seems to be on board with it. You dumb bitch, wear a smaller hat, monster! This leads to easily the film's most memorable song, Somewhere Out There, where Fievel and his sister sing about not giving up hope and finding each other.
Out there.
Even though the kids singing, like I said, aren't exactly the best, there is still a lot of personality and heart in their voices. And if you want a good laugh, watch the music video with Linda Ronstadt and James Ingram. They sing it great, but she looks like she just joined a cult. He constantly looks shocked staring at random scenes from the movie.
On the same bright star.
Duh, glasses! And it's sung more romantically, which makes this brother and sister ballad a little Luke and Leia-y. Jesus Christ, they live right next to each other. Out There is 2 steps away, kinda loses its epic scale. Oh well, still a good song, which takes us into the mice putting together their secret weapon to get rid of the cats.
The laboratory mice, the team has been sliced.
Fievel gets separated from the group and comes across Warren T. Rat, discovering he is in fact a cat. Though verdict's still out on dog, I guess. Bluth, you know the difference between these two, right? He gets captured, but they don't eat him because that's what they'd be expecting us to do. So he's instead guarded by the cowardly cowardly tiger, voiced by Dom DeLuise.
Don't make any funny moves, because I'm crafty, and I'm quick. I have the instinct of a cat.
I always saw Dom DeLuise as a less funny John Candy, but before you kill me, I actually don't mean that as an insult. I think John Candy had equal parts comedy and heart, where Dom DeLuise had less comedy, but even more heart. He still gets a few laughs, they're just not hard laughs. Yet you still love him because he doesn't hold back.
I lost my family too. 8 brothers, 10 sisters, 3 fathers.
He gives you all the charm he has in his body, and it truly is a lot of charm.
I like butterflies with big golden wings and blue and green tips.
Me too.
With that said, this is my least favorite song.
We're a duo. A duo.
It's not bad, and you definitely need it after so many aggressive moments, but nothing much is furthered with it. They become friends, great! They kinda did that even before the song started, so it's a little dull. But I still liked it enough as a kid, so Hakuna Matata, I guess. This results in Fievel escaping, bringing the cats to the mice too early to set off the secret weapon.
Hold your fire. It's that rat, Warren T.
Him and his wowie of willy wabblers wubble quassers.
It's revealed that Warren T is a cat, leading to one of my favorite lines.
Who are you gonna believe? Me or your own eyes?
And they finally unleash their secret. Just tilt upward, you fool!
A secret weapon!
Fievel helps unleash the weapon, which again is nice, as it does stop him from being a little too weak. And it's revealed to be none other than ratoscoping. Oh, your hatred for dad jokes fuels me!
It's the giant mouse of men!
It says so on his side, just like all famous monsters.
They force them on a ship to Hong Kong, and because I guess every cat in the US was on board, they sing how there's no more cats in America.
Now there are no cats in America.
Okay, so you can guess how it ends. Fievel finds his family as they're literally right there, and it ends happily after act. Fuck no. We got 10 more minutes of misery to give you. Yep, In any other film, I'd say this was needlessly added on, but the film really wants to earn that happy ending, so we're given, in my opinion, the harshest moments in the movie. Fievel gets separated, yeah, he's good at doing that, and ends up in a slum called Orphan Alley, where the chipmunks have clearly hit hard times.
I've been looking for my family.
He's looking for his family.
I stopped that a long time ago.
You should give that up and start smoking marijuana.
These kids are ruthless to him, which is understandable as they lost their folks too, so they're just passing on their pain to him.
They don't care. Forget them.
You're nothing. You're junk. You're trash.
Make yourself a bed.
This causes Fievel to finally give up, and again, if this performance and his vulnerability wasn't believable, it'd be pointless and drag on. But this really sounds like a kid who's been pushed to the limit and finally does away with hope.
You're right. They don't care. And if they did, they would have found me. Well, if they don't care, I don't care.
This is an example of the night being darkest before the dawn because this is emotionally aggressive. Yeah, you see all those children? Those are all the little mice that don't have their parents either. Yeah, there's tons of mice children shivering the streets without their family. Don't talk to your therapist about this, you pussy. Just take it. Take it like the rotting, decaying corpse that you are. Rated 80s G. Of course, his family does start to put together that the mouse named Philly who came up with all this could be Fievel.
It could still be another Fievel Mouskowitz.
No, Papa. Look.
His head is still inside. Yeah, that's right. Life is hell before you die, and then it's real hell. Ah! Naturally, this makes you all the more thankful when his family does finally find him. That's 6 times, folks. If you took a shot for each one, you'd be blitzed by this point.
No, it can't be. Bluth wouldn't let it happen. Somebody whip me for having a moment of content.
Thus, we're given the warmest, most sparkling, heavenly lit ending I think I've seen in anything. And again, if all this misery didn't come before it, it would be too cheesy. But after going through more ball busting than a 70s commercial, this is exactly what everybody needed to see. Why, even his hat fits now. Yeah, his head has been so violently banged around, I'm sure the bruise has finally shaped it right.
Now, you are a mouse.
Before you were a hamster. Now with your ears doing that thing, that makes you a mouse. It's a weird metaphor. They fly around the now finished Statue of Liberty, and did I say you couldn't go too cheesy with this ending? Okay, maybe a little bit.
This enormous woman will devour us all! Ah!
They wave goodbye like it's the ending to Grease, and everybody, both kid and adult alike, take a big sigh of fucking hey, man. This movie is relentlessly harsh, but it's a smack on the head to make you appreciate what you take for granted. That's a story about America, all right. The film works not just as an emotional story for children, but a decent allegory about the strengths and weaknesses of the American dream. Kids can watch it and get sucked up in the adventures Fievel goes through and then grow up and look at it in a totally different light. Like a lot of brilliant pieces of animation, it's smarter than it looks. Part of this is because it does so well in the emotional department that you don't think they would try to throw in a meaningful allegory as well. But it handles both of them beautifully. Add on top of that phenomenal animation, amazing music, memorable characters, and a surprisingly tight runtime of only 80 minutes. Proving epics don't need to be 3 hours in order to feel big. And you have one of the great animated staples. If it's been a while, give it another watch. My guess is you'll find more to appreciate every single time you see it. I mean, it's not American Tail 9 good, but it's still pretty decent. I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy, remember? So you don't have to.
Poor Mamma Mia!